Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Gaming News. Appetizer today is people are spending less on games. All right, before we get in on it, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit those notifications, tell all your friends, tell your family, and give us some responses about what you think about what we talk about. So, are people spending less in 2022, the second quarter, than previous? According to this article, there's four main reasons for this. So we're going to hit each one topically here. So number four, growing popularity of free-to-play service games. Call of Duty's got theirs, GTA's got theirs, Fortnite, so forth. So Nick, what do you think? Do you think free-to-play is really taking away from mainstream game purchasing?
No. I don't. No, I don't. And the main reason why is because free to play gamers that spend money within those free to play games, buying cosmetics and stuff like that, they've always done that, right? And they will always continue to do that. And they're not typically the people that play free to play games religiously like that. To where, we play free to play games sometimes, occasionally here and there, but we typically don't spend money in them. And if we do, it's a very little amount. And we'll usually play them for maybe a couple months, and then we just kind of go move on to something else, right? That would be about the longest time frame for any of us to really play a free-to-play title. We might come back to it once in a while, but most of the time we typically don't play them. So I think that most of the market is, for those in the free to play spectrum, they're going to basically play those games no matter what and spend their money there. They're not really interested in playing other titles and other things that come out maybe once in a while, right? They're kind of like the people that play sports titles, right? Those people play sports titles exclusively. That's like all they play. The new Madden comes out, they're going to buy it, they're going to play it, and that's pretty much all they play. They might play a Call of Duty once in a while. They might play like an Apex Legends free to play once in a while or something like that. But they're mainly going to play that sports title, and that's it. They also talk about, with this, free to play titles have always been popular. And the reason why they're popular is because the barrier for entry, right? $0. That's an easy way to get someone on board for your game is to not include any price to get them on board, right? They just download the game and start playing. So it's easy for a lot of those people. But I think a lot of gamers, right, people that play a variety of games, typically don't play, I would say probably don't play a lot of free to play. They play a large variety of different games. They might have a free to play that they like to play, but they usually play that in their downtime. But if a new game comes out that they're interested in, they're going to go out and buy it, and they're going to go out and buy these obscure games and games that a lot of people aren't going to go out there and purchase. The mass market isn't going to, right? So I don't think that free to play games are growing in popularity, and they're going to continue to, but they've always been popular, and they'll just continue to. So they're a part of the equation. I don't think they're new to it. What do you think?
I think free to play is the destruction of quality gaming. But as far as this subject goes, I couldn't disagree with you. These free to play games, like let's say Diablo, for instance, or Fortnite, they have made money hand over fist. It is unbelievable how much they generate on a daily basis. I don't believe in any way that free to play is hurting, as far as financially hurting the gaming market. It's only increased it. Cosmetics and stuff are huge. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard your son, come in while we're playing, Dad, I need some V-Bucks. No, you don't. Go away. But how many households are dealing with that? And Fortnite is the monster of free to play. Nobody touches it. I mean, Call of Duty can't even touch it, and It's one of the biggest franchises ever. So I don't see that one definitely in any way hurting the gaming market at all. Now, on to number 3 here. And here's another one, the rise of subscription services. So they're basically the rise of subscription models. Xbox Game Pass been out for 2 years almost, I guess, maybe not quite that long. And PlayStation's come out with theirs. Nintendo has some weird thing going on with them. But I cannot fathom myself that these are hurting gaming markets. What do you think, Nick?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Microsoft has gotten quite a few people onto Game Pass. I think they were at, was it 21 or was it 12 million? I can't remember last time we were talking about it. And PlayStation Plus services have probably gotten a huge amount as well. Do you remember how many there were?
I don't remember. I know originally in the first month they didn't put out their totals for some reason, but I want to say they were up to already like 4 million in the US. That's the last number I think I saw, but I can't remember for sure.
So
back on it.
Yeah, so I just looked it up, and from January of 2021, they were at 18 million subscribers. So
Microsoft?
Yeah, Xbox Game Pass was. So you're looking at 18 million subscribers. I mean, that's a lot of people, but not every single game comes out to those subscription services. So I don't think it's hurting it, mainly because those, people aren't publishers and developers are not putting their games on these subscription services for free, right? We don't know how the deal is going down, but they are getting some sort of either royalties or just a big payout to put these games onto that service. So the market's still making money, right? Even though people aren't individually buying the game, and people that aren't a part of the service are still going to buy the game, or people that are part of the service are buying the game even though they can get it on the service, right? Maybe they like that developer, maybe they like that publisher, maybe they want that game because the game's not on the service forever, so they want to keep that game, and so they go ahead and purchase it there. So I don't think that. I think actually subscription services like this, for me personally, and I think for all of us, this has introduced us to a lot of games that we wouldn't normally play. And I think has probably introduced us to a lot of games that we wouldn't normally play that we end up purchasing because they are going to go off of the subscription service or something like that we really enjoy. Or that we find that we really enjoy, but maybe we want it on PC or want it on something else. And so we go buy it there. And it was a game that we didn't, know about or wasn't going to give it the time of day, but we did because it was free on our subscription service. I mean, we're paying the subscription, but to us, it's kind of free in a way with our subscription. And we find out that it's a really cool game. And then we end up learning more about the developer, buying more games from them, buying the game that we played on the subscription service, various things like that. So I think subscription services, I don't know, I feel like they would introduce more people to go out and purchase those games more often than not. But I guess it really also depends on the individual, right? It's more of an individual type basis. But what do you think?
Well, the one thing I love about Game Pass, and even the PlayStation, but I'm going to just talk about the Game Pass, is exactly like you said. It's how many times have we been like, what do you guys want to play? I don't know. Let's look on Game Pass. So what do? We pop up Game Pass. We've played Farming Simulator. We've played Power Wash Simulator because why not? They're there. We've paid the subscription. Let's check it out. And we have some fun. I mean, Farming Simulator, a couple of years back, maybe not that long, we jumped in and we ran a freaking farm. We had a great time. And then there's other games that we check out. God, there was one that you brought up to me and Pat. You play the little demon thing or the little monster thing that escapes, and you're cruising around through the vents and things like that. Love that game. I mean, it was just one of those games I would never have bought because it's really not up my repertoire. But because of gaming services, I play and buy more games that I don't typically buy. Doki Doki Literature Club, is one of those games that I never thought we would buy. I would especially not buy. but we looked at it more. We looked at it with more eyes wide open because we've been playing games that aren't typically in our repertoire. And what we do, we ended up buying it, playing it, loving it, having a fantastic time, and being able to talk about it like we did was just amazing. Check out a review on it. Um, this was a game because of Game Pass. I think that opened us up to these things. So I truly believe subscription services, when done right, Microsoft's doing a fantastic job. Sony, I think they're too much, but they offer quite a bit. But they're just too much for my opinion. But I can't see subscription services hurting the overall game sales. I can't. So let's check out number two, excuse me. Can't even count. Supply issues with hardware. Now, this one I can probably get my head around. As everybody knows, COVID and supply chain issues all over the world, people having problems getting their stuff where they need it to be. And those scalpers in there too. Scalpers have really made it hard for the gaming community for this generation. So, Nick, what is your thoughts about the supply chain issues?
Yeah, supply chain issues has definitely been an issue. I don't I don't know, even with the supply chain issues, Microsoft and Sony have sold quite a few consoles. Quite a few. I think even the PlayStation 5 is outselling. It's not outselling the PS4, but it's like pretty dang close.
It's almost
right?
on par, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's exceeded, and it would probably exceed the PlayStation 4 if it wasn't for the supply chain issues and the scalpers.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely put a damper on it. Not software wise, right? Just hardware wise. So for the new systems, supply issues have, and the chip shortages have definitely caused a lot of issues with it. I don't think it's, again, these are, one thing you got to think about is these are multi-billion-dollar companies, so they ain't hurting in any way. But does it affect it? Does it affect the companies? I'm sure it does. It seems to. I think it affects more of the people trying to purchase it, the consumers, than it does the companies. Right? The companies have other things that they sell besides just hardware, so they can make up that price with other things. But it definitely did cause, and still is causing, a lot of issues with gamers being able to buy these new consoles. So I give it a little bit of, I can see that. What do you think?
The console sales are besides the supply chain issues, are doing fantastic. Microsoft, Sony, even Nintendo are just, they can't keep them on the market. They just can't. The Series S you can find more often now, a lot more often, but that's really not the console people want. I'll get one so I can put it in my car for road trips or something, but that's it. I I can see how people are feeling. It's like, oh, why do I want to bother trying to get a PS5? I don't want to play this game on the PS4 because I want to play it on the PS5, and I think that might be a big part too. If I can't get, because I didn't play Death Stranding on the PS4, I wanted it on the PS5. I knew it was going to be on the PS5. Everybody knew it was going to be on the PS5. And there's a few other games like that. Ghost of Tsushima, I would love to have played originally on the PS5. I did, and I played on 4, an amazing game. So the consoles issues, supply chain issues, I can definitely see that being a hindrance. But I don't think that would probably be the biggest factor for this quarter for game sales dropping for that. I think there's more causing that, and we'll talk about that after one. And speaking of one, let's jump to number one. Boom. Global inflation and changes in spending. Now, inflation is high. Everybody knows it. You can't afford to wipe your ass, so you're using t-shirts. You can't afford bread, so you're using t-shirts. I mean, inflation sucks right now. Just don't use the same shirt. Trust me. And because of uncertainties, people don't spend quite like they used to. And they're trying to watch their wallets to be safe, and that is completely understandable. And I can definitely grasp this number one. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I can too. And I think the market overall for gaming is not really going down. It's not decreasing. That's what they say, right? It's decreasing. It's people didn't spend as much in gaming as they did in, and what do they compare it to? The fourth quarter of 2020 or the second quarter of 2021, right? Is what they compare it to. It's decreased 13% since the second quarter of 2021. And the main reason why I think it is because mainly there is global inflation, and
Mm-hmm.
things are really expensive to buy now. I mean, like you said, the cost of just your regular items at the grocery store are way too expensive. But I think the main thing is COVID-19, right? During that time, everyone was kind of stuck indoors, and so they kind of turned to gaming and Netflix and other things of that nature, right? Things that they could do at the house. Now that COVID-19 is kind of more on the back burner and people are getting back to just doing their daily activities, those people that kind of got into that during COVID-19, they're getting back out and into the regular world again, right? They're not buying the games like they did, right? They didn't have anything else to do, so they went out and bought games. Game sales were probably huge during that time. And now that things are going back to a normalcy, people are just going back to their regular daily lives and doing what they would regularly do, which is probably not play video games, right? They're going out and spending time with friends and going to sporting events and various other things and vacations and stuff like that. So they're not really spending their money on game sales. So I think really what's happening is the marketing is just leveling back out to what it's probably more than likely normally at. Right. They saw a spike during COVID-19, but now it's just leveling back out to what it normally is. Right. There's always going to be fluctuations in the market. Everything's always going to go up and down. But there's like panicking, it seems like, because it's decreasing. I think it's just going back to what it normally was. You got the influx of people, and now that influx of people is gone. And now the sales are just dipping back down to what we would normally see. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. When COVID-19, I don't know, like 6 months in, there was a bunch of articles how video game sales were, skyrocketing because people were at home. I worked from home for a little while, and that gave me more time to play because I didn't have to drive to work back and forth or any of that junk. Saved me money. I bought more games because I wasn't buying gas. I mean, I can definitely see that, that is going to increase me as a gamer, as an actual gamer. That's definitely going to increase my spending because I can do it now. I can buy that extra game. That's on sale. I grab that. Now I don't buy as well. I can't say I actually buy probably just as much as I did, uh, but for a lot of people, they're not doing it. Non-gamers, they bought console, they bought a game, they enjoyed their time. They were laid off of work because of COVID or whatnot. So they're going to buy these things, especially when the government was handing out the little checkies. Everybody was like, wow, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. Scalpers were like, yes, you are, but you're going to pay double the price. That's what COVID was about, for the gaming community. And now it's not like that. I mean, people are out and about. I mean, I went on vacation with my family a month or two ago, and we never typically do that. Never can really afford it, and we shouldn't have went this time. But uh, that was an expenditure. That was me doing completely out of my gaming realm, and a lot of people are doing that. I mean, I thought about getting up and exercising in the morning. It's not happening, but I thought about it because, people are just going back to things. People are getting out of things. They realize when they were at home, this is really all I do. I just sit and watch TV or sit and play games or, sit and watch, OnlyFans. I got to get out and I got to do something else. I need to experience new things. And I think that's one of the things that COVID did. They made people decide to change some things, especially health reasons. Nick, you've lost weight. I've lost weight. I eat better-ish. I'm in the bathroom more, but I eat better-ish. It's just people are trying to get out of those stay-at-home routines. So, but I think you're exactly right. It's leveling back out to where it should be. And guess what? It's not going to get better on console sales because they can only go so high. And then they have to level off and then they'll decrease and then you'll get new consoles. It happens every time. Not to mention games are still being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Development on games is still hurting. COVID's still having effects on them. Developers still working out how to work from home. It's been 2 years now, but guess what? It's still hard to do that stuff from home. Just doing my job from home is not easy. So I think the comparison of last year is not really fair because look what last year was. Last year was still reeling with COVID. Last year was still people trying to acclimate to these different, working schedules and, work routines. I'm used to getting up at X, time every morning. When I stayed at home and worked from home, I ain't getting up that early. So it was just a thing, but yeah, you're right. People are getting just, they're just not doing what they were a year ago, plain and simple. So, but well, that is the 4 reasons on our little list here of the, money dropping out of the game market. But it's not a crash. It's not nothing to be worried about. Don't worry. They're not going to kill Mario over this and collect the insurance. Games are going to be fine. They're still making billions, absolute billions of dollars. Like Nick said, what was that? Your last look was 18 million subscribers.
Game Pass has 18 million subscribers. And even though there's a decrease, they still made $12.35 billion.
Yeah.
So
now I know that's, Elon Musk, blowing his nose money, but still, that's nothing to scoff at. I don't see an issue with it. I really don't. The biggest issue right now with games, to me, for as games themselves, not hardware, just getting them out on time. We've had so many pushback to 2023 now. That's my biggest killer with games right now. So, Nick, you got anything else you want to say about this subject? Should we start sending Sony and Microsoft a lifeline, maybe a GoFundMe to help them out in this time of crisis?
Yeah, they need our help. Just 25 cents a day, and you can sponsor one of these companies.
For 25 cents a day, you could feed Bill Gates. All right. Again, thanks for listening. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think about these money problems that these poor game developers are having. And we will see you next time. See ya.